Man, it's funny. We were just talking about it. Like, people don't realize this because we recorded everything in like a batch last time. But you've been out of town for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen you in like almost like, over 3 weeks now. But every single time Dom leaves to go on the road and he comes back to New York City, there's a new weed store
I
in
couldn't
the neighborhood.
believe it.
It's every single time. You would think that this neighborhood has enough weed. But it's like, no, every single time there's just another entrepreneur decides to open up shop. And so far, none of them have gone out of business yet.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe it. How many would you say is within a 5 minutes walking distance?
At least 4.
Yeah,
And that's just within 5 minutes.
4 in 2 minutes.
Yeah. But I
Bro.
mean, like if you want to go up the hill, there's a couple more. And I mean, these are just like the official weed spots.
Yeah,
But it's like the bodegas too. If you're just in there, I've seen people just walk up. I didn't even realize those regular bodega guys were in the business anymore.
I know,
But
bro.
yeah, I saw a guy that's getting a bacon, egg, and cheese. He was like, "Hey, you sell weed too, right?" It's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah,
The
dude,
bodegas, they
pre-rolls.
just like whatever you ask them, they just got it behind the counter somewhere.
I seen the dude today. That's why I'm laughing so hard. I was like, man, I didn't know they sell weed at this one.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like they sell stamps.
Wow.
You can buy some you can buy a hammer and some cheap screwdriver and like a hair clip or something
Yeah.
from the same guy. So it's like might as well cover all your bases.
Somehow they fit everything that you need in those bodegas.
Yeah, I got I went into Manhattan the other day. I went to go to like the real weed store, like the official license. There's only like 2 official licensed weed stores in New York City.
14th or whatever.
Yeah, right by Union Square.
Oh yeah.
I went in and it was like a super long line. You got to wait in line just to get in. And when you get in, they're like, all right, here's the lines over there. And so I waited in line for like over 30 minutes. And I finally got to the front of the line. And I was like, oh, thank God. I just want to get a vape cartridge. And she was like, no, this is just for pickup.
Oh,
You were supposed to you got to
man.
order and then get in line.
What?
So she made me just go back to the kiosk. I just left.
Oh man, dude, the universe don't want you smoking.
I was I mean, like, I can't believe, I think I was the only person that's just too dumb to buy weed.
Remember that one? How busy it was when we went?
No, it wasn't that one. It's like a new one. It's
Oh,
like
damn.
all futuristic looking and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You walk in and it's like a museum. But like, it's so popular that it's just like, it wasn't even like she felt bad for me. She was just like, nah, it's just not your day.
Yeah, I seen some stuff I didn't even know that they had anymore. Those Thai sticks, you ever see those?
No.
They were selling those over in like when I was over in Europe. They have weed stores just like we have here in Italy, but they had
Hey, weed's
hash.
legal in Italy?
I don't know if it's legal, but the stores
It's
are there.
open though?
Yeah.
Wow.
You could walk right in, it's all there.
Huh.
And then there's literally there's a weed store right across from where Julius Caesar was stabbed. They show the
Wow.
monument, weed store.
Wow.
Yep, right in Rome.
It's just like in here where it's like kind of tacky looking, or it's like
No, it's like upscale, man. A little bit more put together than it is here. It's like a spot where you go to get drugs for real. They're like, look, we got the smallest they said that they sell is grams, which were huge nugs in little glass cases. They were $10 or $20 just a gram. Like, then they sold Ace and all that shit. But they also had stuff like hash. They had, what's the other one? I don't know. They had hash and like hemp
dabs and stuff.
Dabs, and they had these Thai stick things that look like some weed I've never seen before.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, dude, you do he's like, I think it was hash. He's like, yeah, man, if you smoke some hash, you don't want to do nothing else today.
Oh yeah.
And it was like little blocks like the size of Q sticks, like that you sharpen a Q with.
Yeah. That kind of stuff though. Hash is one of those things where it's like that's not even like a party drug. That's like a laying on your back
You go to sleep.
opium drug.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, imagine that.
You're just zonked out. Yeah, you can't even walk around.
There was this dude out there that I met recently, actually worked in prisons for 30 years, worked in Sing Sing. That's where you go when you mess up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And he was over there. Anyways, he said the way that they sneak drugs in is crazy. It's like they melt fentanyl into crayons and have their kids draw them a picture and then they cut up the paper and smoke it.
Whoa.
Is that crazy?
Man, you want it so bad at that point.
Yeah.
That is some ingenuity.
And then there's some stuff.
Because they're smoking, there's like, it's also partially just regular crayon too.
Yeah, your kid comes in there and they color like crazy with fentanyl crayons because you're not allowed to sneak stuff.
But you
like
are
that
also
in.
smoking crayon, so you are just getting some regular ass wax in there.
Yep, and they spray the paper with this stuff too. There's this other stuff. It's like a resin spray or THC spray.
That's how they make Delta 8.
Yeah, and you could adjust the strengths, though. You could spray more than you know.
Yeah.
But what about there's this stuff called synthetic marijuana that I guess is legal.
Yeah.
And he said this stuff messes the prisoners up real bad.
It's like K2 spice.
Yeah, this dude, I guess, was laying around on the bathroom floor of the prison, and he was acting like he was swimming and dousing water in the toilet.
Yeah.
And baptizing himself.
Before they legalized weed in New York, that was like a big epidemic. It was like over by like Myrtle Broadway.
That can't be real.
It was like a whole block of it was like K2 zombies.
Wow.
Where it's like taking bath salts where it like you start wigging out.
Dude, he was telling me stories that one dude had to explain how he felt. And he was saying he was watching like an animal and a dog fight. And they were like, dude, he's like, I'm telling you, these guys are nuts.
Wow.
They'll run around like crazy. They'll break their own bones. They'll smash their fist into the wall.
Yeah. And the stuff was like legal. You could just buy it at the store, at like a smoke shop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I bet you could probably still buy it. I think these days people just get regular weed.
He said every drug you can do here, you do in prison and then some. They do stuff where they mix Raid with stuff and breathe it in.
Wow.
And they get all messed up. The dude was running around. You know, they just start acting crazy, trying to fight cops and just go nuts.
Wow.
I guess you just get bored in there, and the gangs control it like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it. He said, yeah, and you know how they get it in? I'm like, how? He's like, up their butt.
That's how everything gets in.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
you get your phone in.
Dude, up the butt, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to smoke something else. I mean, unless your kids draw the picture, I guess.
Well, yeah, you want it that bad, I guess. I don't know.
Man.
Yeah.
We need to chase comedy like that. Put your jokes up your butt and go out, see if you remember them.
Yeah. It's crazy that, like, I had no idea weed was legal in Italy. I do not associate Italy with weed smoking at all.
There's way more.
That is like a cigarette smoking culture.
Oh, big time, dude. Cigarettes, cigars, but they're all smoking pre-rolls, too. They roll their own cigarettes.
Well, I think they mix in tobacco or something over there,
You
too,
know,
right?
prostitution's legal in Italy, too, but you can't, you can't go up and be in, like, soliciting openly about it. You got to be discreet, and the cops, I guess, look the other way, but
right.
Brothels are illegal. Like, you can't have a pimp or a business making money, but a single girl could market herself how she wants.
I think that's basically what it is here. It's decriminalized to the point where it's like, as long as you're not getting trafficked or something, you know.
I didn't see girls out on the street like doing it, but
well, I think you just get a number probably. You get, it's like a Craigslist back page situation. Yeah,
Las Vegas type of deal.
Even here, I think the majority of like sex workers and stuff, they aren't like walking the streets, like in a movie or something.
I would never be able to trust somebody that you don't know to just come over. I mean, that's how you get killed, man. So
yeah, but also it's like you might be the killer. So I think there's like an equal,
Any girl that's crazy enough to do that job probably got a blade on her. I'd feel bad.
Yeah, but I mean, any guy who's willing to pay the girl like that probably got a gun. So it's like a mutual trust society, I think.
Would you ever pick one of those up?
Nah.
It would need to be like recording.
It would need to be a situation where it's like we talked about this before on the podcast. When I was in like Singapore, everything is all like regulated, where it's like the girls all have to like they register with the state, and they have to get tested every week.
Oh yeah, you were
saying
saying
like the cops kind of know what the plan is. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the very repressive society. But like if it's like here, with the way that like weed shops open, where it's like a free for all, that's when it's like you never know what's gonna happen there. Or like in Vegas, where it's like they hand you the card with the girl.
Right.
That's not the girl that's coming to the door.
Right. 100%.
So who the fuck knows coming to the door and what they got on them? So
now, would you do it if you had a bodyguard watching you the whole time? Like if you had money like that?
I think if you got money like that, then you're getting like high class.
Oh, right.
Where it's like 10 grand, 10, 15 grand. But it's like, that's one of those things too, where it's like, you don't even want like a low price.
Right.
If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. It's like we were talking about getting a hot tub.
Right.
If you're gonna get a hot tub, get a nice hot tub, or don't get a hot tub.
Yeah, don't be getting a 3x2.
Yeah, don't get a fucking Craigslist used hot tub.
Oh, dude, come on, sideways.
Have some respect. Just put in some extra hours at work, save up, get something fresh.
How are you ever gonna have the neighbor's kids in there without?
Yeah, right. It's the 1999 model. This is a great year for hot tubs.
Everybody I know that gets a hot tub, unless it's just them and them wife thing, but if you're a single guy and you get a hot tub, it's like red flags all the way.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, it's a guy who really thinks he has a picture in his head of how this is gonna go, and it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a couple dudes in a hot tub.
Dude, it's gonna be the neighbor saying, "Do you mind if our daughter and her friends use your hot tub?"
Yeah, and there's gonna be leaves in it and shit.
Right.
And one of the jets won't work.
Yep.
Squirrels getting in the mix.
Yeah, dude, screw that. You ain't cool with no hot tub. I mean, an in-house pool, that's cool. If you had a pool in your house with like a blue light in your living room, that's baller.
Yeah, I'm surprised in America it's not more popular to go to like a bathhouse.
Right.
In like Japan, that's like a regular thing for people, where it's like there's like a neighborhood, like everybody goes to this place the way you go to a gym, where it's like there's like a nice sauna, nice hot tub, a nice pool. And everybody, it's like here, it's like kind of a weird, sketchy sex situation.
Right.
But like there, it's like, you want to, every once in a while, you do want to get into a hot tub.
Yeah.
And it's like regular, I don't even know in this neighborhood, where would you even go?
Oh, I wouldn't even want to.
You got to go, you go to like Equinox, I guess, and get to go to a hot tub. But it's not even like there's a regular business where that's just how,
right,
where you go.
Dude, I agree 100%. I was just thinking that when I was just in Pompeii, I seen they had bathhouses back then, 200 BC. Dude, they had ways to heat it.
Yeah, well, just from a practical standpoint, back in those days, people didn't have a private pool.
Right.
Yeah, especially not that's heated.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a social environment where you just go in, you hang out with your boys.
And all the toilets were lined up. Them Romans that would poop together and exchange ideas.
Yeah, well, it's like talking about democracy.
Yeah. Do you think we should bring back stalls, or?
Well, it's almost like a gym, except without the gym. Right. It's just the fun part of the gym.
And there's lockers. Yeah.
Chilling. Yeah, and it's like I think it's good for people to be. I can't even remember the last time I was in a pool, but like it's good psychologically to be in a body of water.
They had to quit doing it in Rome because they had to change the times. Men and women had to go at different times because they were all being prostitutes, the women, and they were getting all their business up there.
Yeah. Well, I could see the vibe being a lot different.
Yeah.
You're used to it just to being you and your boys.
Everybody's 5'5".
And then some girl comes in and she's got some ideas.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And she wants some coin.
Who invited her?
Yeah.
How was so you went to Italy?
Yeah, I went to Italy. I was in Rome, and that's where I seen that the city of Pompeii had it's one of the oldest cities, and they had legalized prostitution there. And to show you where the red light district was, it was a engraving of a penis on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, I guess back then, I think a lot of people couldn't read.
They didn't speak the language.
Literacy rates were low, so it's like you had to do just like sign language and like, it's like Egyptian hieroglyphics or whatever. So it's like...
Yeah, and everybody visited Pompeii because cities didn't have red light districts like that. Right. And even back then, they were open-minded. If you wanted like a boy prostitute, you could do that. It wasn't as common back then.
Right. I think that was very common back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like among those
among
those
the
classes.
Romans.
Yeah.
But no, people would come from like Egypt and other places to indulge in that.
We heard you guys get down.
Yeah. I wish I had the pictures. I wasn't able to take pictures of the one area, but they had pictures on the wall, and you just point to what you want, and it's a position.
Wow.
And then like you just point, and then they give you that.
Again, it's just the language barrier.
Yeah.
Or it's the same way where it's like the way you order a hamburger or something. You're in Mexico. Or it's like, I want that one.
Just point.
Yeah.
They had fast food too. They had these sections set up in the big city. It was like Fifth Avenue, and one area was called the Bronx, and it's a huge city, and they had the little Times Square. Have you ever been to Pompeii?
This is modern, or this is...
This is old, from 200 BC.
Oh, this is like, they're showing you what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's what it was. They had the theater. They had a little Times Square area.
Yeah.
But they had all the shopping, and you could see it was a lot of food places. They'd have, like, focaccia bread or salamis, and you could buy it. And it was fast food. They'd heat it up in a flame.
Right. Well, it's just like getting street food.
Yeah, street food, basically.
Yeah. Where you just like the guy like has like a frying pan or something.
But you believe they were doing all that back then? Running water?
I in-house
water.
Yeah.
We didn't come far from then. And now we just don't have...
Well, that was around, and then like it went away.
Yeah.
During like the Dark Ages and stuff.
Yeah, volcano covered all of Pompeii.
But even like besides that, it's like, between that and like the Renaissance, there was just a whole like 1,200 years where it was like, we're just not doing that shit anymore.
Wow.
We're going back to shitting in a hole again.
Wow, is that really?
And then
what
eventually,
happened?
they had to bring it back. But it's because everything kind of got squirrely after a while. Because they had democracy in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And they had running water, and they had big libraries where people read and played frisbee and shit.
Wow.
And then everything just like we're not doing that anymore.
What do you think caused they didn't want people happy?
Well, no, and then people start getting religious, and Christianity comes in. Things start getting that's the devil.
That's what stopped the fights at the Colosseum. Constantine, when he won, he introduced Christianity.
People are getting uptight.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to see this guy get killed by a tiger.
Well, it sucks because you don't want to see the guy get killed. You're speaking for the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah, we got some money on this.
Yeah, and they would. You know how you even bought tickets to the Coliseum? They didn't sell you tickets. Tell me this wasn't genius. You had to gamble and win to get in. So people would gamble 5 fights before they got in. So you essentially sold 5 tickets and got 1 person in.
Right.
It's at 80,000 people.
And that crowd was like, they're in for it.
Blood hungry.
Because those are all like super fans. There's no box seats or anything.
Right.
Nobody was on the guest list.
They'd have off games too, where they just have prisoners get killed, or they'd have plays, but where a prisoner's in the play, say the play called for somebody to get stabbed to death, they'd really kill the person in the play.
Right.
Because they were prisoners. Or if they believed in, I guess, religion, if they were into Christianity.
Yeah.
They'd have you go fight an elephant.
You think too, it's like we talked about before about like the UFC or boxing, where it's like if you're in the cheap seats, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. At the UFC, you're probably at this point you're just watching screens. You're at MSG and you watch the screen above the thing. Back there was no electricity.
Yeah.
And like those gladiator fights. So it's like those cheap seats, you're just in for the vibe, I think.
And it was
they can't tell what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, you can't, but it was big. Have you ever been to the Coliseum?
No.
Okay, yeah, dude, it was big, way bigger than I thought. For some reason, I didn't expect it to be that big. Like, it was maybe 2 football fields long.
Right.
And then they lay down a wood floor and cover it in sand, and then you'd fight on there.
Right.
But you pretty much have a pretty good view everywhere you sit, but they would just be small.
Yeah, but it's like you can't tell what's
right. You
this
can't really
guy is trying to fist fight a gorilla.
Right.
You can't see what he's doing with his wrists or something. Who's got who's controlling the hips?
When they conquer people, they would make them gladiators or prisoners. And when you're a gladiator, you were just a prisoner. You just worked out, and then you were in a prison cell.
Right.
With like 500 other dudes, small cell.
Yeah, until you start winning.
But like, what if you conquer somebody now? If we conquered somebody, do they become you conquer them, they become your servants.
Yeah, it's what they do with prisoners now.
They make them servants.
No, they make you work the field.
Yeah.
You got to pick up trash next to the freeway.
But what about I don't know, what happens if we conquer somebody or somebody conquers us? Do we just got...
Yeah, you got to do what they say.
Wow,
Who's got the bigger gun?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It was like that back then, too.
Yeah.
If you conquered people, you'd own them. But they'd be like 30, and people only lived to be like 35.
Well, the thing is, though, would you rather be the gladiator? I mean, you get captured. Would you rather be the gladiator, or would you rather just be working at a farm?
Man,
getting kicked around and shit.
Though. You're getting, you could fight.
You're gonna die anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you could really fight.
And
just like Russell Crowe.
The women would wipe their sweat. They'd save their sweat and their blood and put it on their face and their hair.
Yeah. And then afterwards, you probably get like a big turkey leg or something.
Oh yeah.
Drinking some wine.
Maybe they give you wine. They didn't treat
to all
them
your
too
buddies.
good.
Well, I bet if they're like, they don't treat you good if you lose. It's just like a horse.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to put the horse down. But if you get a good horse, it's like, give this guy some apples.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, if you were Mike Tyson back then, you were just like, I think you were even higher back then. You're like a god.
Oh yeah, you were. They were celebrities. They would have pictures of them carved on the wall.
And you're just like a legend too.
And then when you lose, though, they bury you outside of Rome because you're a disgrace to Rome.
Whatever. I mean,
you're dead.
You were gonna die anyways. Yeah, at that point. But I don't think you're worried about that. But I mean, just imagine, because there was no video, so anything is just like one person telling another person.
Yeah.
So when somebody was like a legend back then, they're like a god. Where it's like, someone telling you like John Henry tall tales about,
right?
Oh, you should have seen this guy. He's got arms like tree trunks.
Yeah, they would too.
Yeah.
And they always make the story better.
Yeah, exactly.
See, now you could pull it up and be like,
I saw him fight 15 men.
Yeah.
One of them was a gorilla.
People would make it better, and he did you seen every vein in his damn forearm.
You saw the fireball he shot?
Forearms look like coconuts.
Yeah.
And he hit him, the whole place shook.
The jab was legendary.
Yeah, they were like, I used to always hear this story. I worked with this guy, and he used to always tell this story about this father and son that would always argue.
Yeah.
And they were like called the Ganzabinos or something. And they were like, he'd be like, they're two big grizzly bears, and Frankie Ganzabino, he's yelling at his dad. He said, you hear the desk moving? And he's like, they're just two big bears in there. And he'd tell us all the time, huge and desk, and I guess they would wrestle at the car dealership.
Huh.
The Ganzabinos.
Wow.
And it'd be a boy and his father. And, he'd always make the story sound like, I couldn't wait to meet this guy. He'd be like, your neck will get hurt looking at him.
Yeah.
And, dude, I meet the guy. He's like 3 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
He's older now, though.
It's always a little disappointing.
He wanted me to clean his headlights. I'm like, dude, I didn't expect. You're a Ganzabino.
You're a legend. Yeah, I think everything gets ruined now. Things are much more well documented.
Yeah.
You don't really get legends like that anymore.
I wish we can go back, though. I wish cameras were around back then just to see if it was true. Like, I don't know if you ever heard these stories. Your family seems a little reserved, but, like, I remember, and I don't know, like, people... I remember I worked at the car place. We had this tow truck driver, Wild Bill. I ever tell you about him?
No.
Yeah, dude, he was our tow truck driver, and he would go to the bars and drink for free. I guess he would bet people they could stretch his dick out and stir their drink with it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he would do it.
Wow.
And they told me, they'd be like, dude, we'd see him at the bar, and we don't know how he didn't pull that thing off. He'd stretch that way up at the bar, and he'd put it right in their drink and stir it.
Wow.
Isn't
See, the thing is,
crazy?
though, I bet if you actually saw it, you'd be like, oh.
Right.
I was expecting more than that. I mean, I see how you can pull that off, but it's like in my head, I thought you were, fighting bears or something.
Yeah.
So you were in Rome?
Yeah, I went to Pompeii.
I mean, like you were on the boat, though, so the boat stops in Rome and people just get off?
I had 4 days in Rome. I think it ends up going to Rome eventually. They flew me into Rome, and I was about an hour and a half away from the boat, and my driver was quick, man. I see why them Italians are race car drivers. Every driver I had, dude, they just drive like that. They're 2 inches away, stick shift. I mean, right behind the people.
Wow.
The girl did about 90 the entire way.
Wow. She was like drifting,
going
gunning
it, smacking gears. The shit was going. Ooh, little Fiats, dude, and they soup them up out there.
That's an Uber?
I'll tell you what. It was a company. They had send drivers for me.
Oh, wow.
But they had one guy had a Mercedes truck, but this girl in the Fiat, it was like it was souped up.
Wow.
And she was rolling. She was so pissed.
Huh.
They started calling my room at 6:30 in the morning. Checkout was at 10. Maybe it's my mistake, but either way, yeah. So I was in Rome for 4 days, man. It was beautiful. I've seen a lot of places, actually, but Rome was by far my favorite.
That's like a big city, right?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a lot. Like, they have all the ancient ruins there, and from when, like, Augustus ruled, and I seen the Sistine Chapel with Michelangelo painted the ceiling. A guy took pictures on his phone, and they caught him. And they took his phone off him. We seen him when we were walking out. They treat that serious.
Well, they don't want people even breathing on it or anything.
A dude, actually, I met him there. He airdropped me pictures of it. So I got pictures of the Sistine Chapel.
I mean, it's not like you can't find pictures of it. It's just like they don't want a bunch of dumbass tourists taking their flash photography of a...
And somebody bought the rights to it, I guess. But yeah, you could find pictures, but I got first in hand, zoomed up iPhone,
I guess.
official.
Yeah. Try to sell that on the street.
Yeah, I've been showing people.
Go up to the Bronx.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
You got to zoom in now. It's cool, man. It was really cool, the whole thing, the Vatican, all of Rome. I mean, I'm almost tired of seeing old stuff. You see so much of it. You'll be walking by, these pillars and statues Michelangelo made and where Caesar's buried, and you'll just be like, oh, this is just like the cradle of our civilization, but... I don't feel like looking that way.
It all looks the same after a while.
It does.
It is just old. That's why I was saying about going any kind of tourist destination, 5 minutes. It's like, I got it.
Well, this one you'd have a little bit of time in. There was different.
But even just any time I'm in a museum, It's like I can go from room to room, you know. It's like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like some guys you see there who are like really trying to take it in, who are like looking at things like, you know, with wonder or something. Yeah. It's like, all right, I'm not you.
Trying to discuss what it means.
Yeah, and they're reading all the plaques and shit, and it's like, all right, this is enough of this.
Yeah, I got burned out of that pretty quick. I actually like, my favorite thing is just the way Rome looks, like the buildings, the structures.
Yeah.
There was so many nice buildings, and even the regular hotels with like the plaster and the downstairs restaurants.
Right, yeah.
It was cool. Italians ran into a few of them, women out there, real short-tempered women.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
chasing you with the rolling pin.
I seen these girls very quick, extremely short-tempered. I'm like, oh, makes perfect sense. You know, I dated a lot of Italians. I'm like, I see where that comes from.
Right, yeah. Like, well, it's like you got to start singing opera to them.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm telling you.
A Greek tragedy.
I had the girl at the airport. I'm just like, I was over there by the bus. She's like, I don't know what to tell you. She's like, do you know English? Do you know how to read?
Wow.
I was like, damn. She's pissed.
Did most people speak English there, or was it?
Very rarely. Yeah. So I picked up a little bit of Italian. Buongiorno.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I mean, you can always just point at stuff.
Prego. Yeah.
Did you get to eat and stuff over there?
Oh, yeah, dude. I ate so good. Everything. The fish is delicious, actually, over there. Everything. They're just, all the food was excellent, man. Pastas, and I ate a ton. That's why I wasn't losing weight on that trip.
Yeah. But I think people always say about when they go to Europe, the food isn't like as heavy because they don't got all the chemicals and shit.
True. And you feel good. I mean, I don't know. I ate too much of it anyway. I ate at the oldest standing pizza place, evidently where pizza was invented. But that's everybody had their own pizza at one point, you know. But evidently where they're saying where it wasn't this specific style pizza, which is really thin pizza with big crust.
Right.
And that was in Naples, and it was this place. It was really good, dude. It was like 2 hours to get. It was great, though.
So were you on the boat from place to place?
Well, in Rome, I was in Rome for 4 days. I had a layover. Like, I was waiting for the boat to get there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they flew me out, 5-star hotel, dude. I had this rooftop. It overlooked all of Rome. It was beautiful, man.
That's nice compared to how you usually get treated.
Oh, yeah, dude. This was such a difference. I guess, I get it. You got to take the curves with the straights because 5-star breakfast, plums, or what do you call figs the size of my hand?
Wow.
People all Italian and nice. So much different types of food that's so good.
Yeah.
And it was cool, man. I had those Italian cigars. And this was one of those hotels when you could just ask them for anything and they'll get it for you. Like you could buy an Italian fitted suit there and somebody will come fit it for you.
Yeah, that's like old school, like service.
Yeah,
where you're really a customer is king kind of place.
Watches, buongiorno when you walk in. But when they're ready for you to go, you're out. Little presents on your bed, like you know, little chocolate covered something or spring water. They give you some champagne.
So where'd you go after Rome?
After Rome, the first stop was Naples. That's when I went to Pompeii. Maybe next time I'll do a little bit of the islands, Capri or Soto. I can't think of another name. Sorrento, I mean.
Yeah.
But then I went to another really cool spot, romantic spot if you're trying to impress a girl. I mean, Rome definitely is an impressor. But this little spot, one night just to go check it out in Croatia, maybe like during the day, be in Croatia, maybe tanning on one of those beaches, getting in the water, take some pictures, and then at night, little romantic dinner in the old town in Croatia where Game of Thrones was filmed. Dude, beautiful little restaurants, alleys, and all these steps.
Right.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's incredible. Food's great, views. I mean, you'll blow somebody away with that. And so I liked Croatia for that.
How were the shows during all this?
They were hit or miss. They were a little hard on me the first week.
Because they're getting off from Rome. They're getting back on the ship.
Right.
And they're supposed to just watch comedy.
Yeah.
That's a weird fit.
It is a weird fit. I felt like, so this ship was a Journeys cruise. So a big chunk of the people already seen me once.
Oh, wow. I mean, these are people who get on the boat and they stay on the boat.
Right. Well, not once. Actually, I got to make a mistake. They seen me for a whole cruise. So they seen me 5 or 6 times. Maybe they seen me 10 times.
Wait, so how long have they been on this boat?
There's some people that've been on it since July.
Wow.
So it's like a world. It travels everywhere. It's in Greece right now. I went to one island in Greece. It was all right. It was like one of these islands where they sell it to you like, oh, you get to see where this was in ancient Greece. And they show you where it was. I mean, now it's a new building. It's a parking deck.
Yeah, it wasn't. Valuable land.
Yeah, they're like, look over here. That's where the Aztecs or whatever.
Yeah,
something.
Trust us.
And we're looking. Where is it? You know, it's just
it's a Chick-fil-A now.
Yeah, it's a parking deck. Or whatever. And so that, I don't know, that I wasn't too. I was so excited to see Greece, but I guess that was one of the off ports.
Well, I mean, how much can you expect them to keep after 2,000 years?
Right.
We got stuff to do here.
Yeah, that's true too.
we got to park our cars somewhere.
You know how much a Wendy's Big Buford's going for?
Well, yeah. I mean, everything was something at some point. Now it's something else.
Sicily, it was kind of crazy. I was in this car. I got off the ship, get into a car. My thing's beeping. One thing, you don't want to end up in a police station in another country.
Right.
I didn't do anything wrong, but you never know what's going to happen. So there was an incident while I was in Rome, and nothing really happened, but I don't look the best when I walk around. Hair's a little crazy. I had shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, tourist.
I guess I looked poor or whatever. I'm in this nice area of Rome, and some girl is shouting somebody just stole from her shop. And dude, so I'm walking by, and the cops are like staring at me. They followed me all slow in the thing. Huh. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm sure everything's cool. I get on the cruise ship, everything's fine. But then when I'm getting off the cruise, they're like, oh, wait, what was the name again? With the Italian police station. And then I'm like, Dominic Leonelli, they're all confused. Somehow it was just to, I guess, I don't know, maybe they thought I was going to go to immigration. Either way, I went straight on this ship to, in a car on a ship. But they made it sound like I was about to get arrested. I mean, nothing happened. I just told the cops that I worked on the ship and I'm a comedian on the ship. But I was like, maybe... I told them my name and everything.
Wow.
Because, they really they followed me for 2 blocks. I was just like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're like, back there, a lady said she had some stuff stolen. You can clearly see I don't have anything.
Right.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm waiting to get on the ship. And Italians didn't like my type of Italian up there.
Of course. Well, you're not low class.
Yeah, I'm not I don't got the nice suits with the nice cigarettes.
This guy doesn't even smoke cigarettes.
Right.
Look at him. He's all chubby.
And they are dressed nice out there. Yeah, I'm all fat. They were all thin, too. Cheekbones.
Yeah. They got Armani on.
But so I actually thought I was going to get arrested. They're like, police, they come on. A Dominic, a Leonelli. Then they let me go. But my heart's beating.
I bet even there's a common name over there probably. So you probably just in the database, another Dominic Leonelli.
Oh, maybe.
This
guy's
guy's
interesting.
An in-shape drug dealer.
Yeah, I should have had one of those little tracksuits.
Yeah.
They wear shades at night. Guido's a real thing there.
And
there's Guidos. They wear them shades at night.
Wow, Euro trash.
Yeah, they walk around. They're Guidos.
Yeah, probably getting into knife fights or something.
Oh, yeah, the little nightclubs.
Doing ecstasy.
Drinking martinis.
Yeah.
I want a Guido. They were playing the song. They were in that. They had a little sports car. A lot of sporty cars there.
Well, it's like, that's kind of like where you find the trash, I think. It's like the Euro trash area, where it's like dudes with like motorcycles and shit, right?
They got the chains.
Yeah, it's very tacky.
Yeah, there was some motorcycle people. There was also, some real fashionable people, like straight up models over there. Like,
right.
I see why a lot of the models come from Europe. I was just like the dudes are ahead of the game. Like, I'm telling you, the new big wave in modeling is going to be men that look gay. I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's been since the 80s.
You think?
Oh, yeah. I think you're just not, plugged into the right thing.
It's real noticeable.
No, it's just like David Bowie, Prince or something.
It is, too. You're right.
Yeah. It's very androgynous. So.
They were kissing a girl. I'm looking at this dude like something don't add up.
Yeah, it's like, Prince.
Yeah.
It's always sort of like, ambiguous.
They like that. I think they like the challenge.
Also, the body type is more slim. It's not like...
It is.
Yeah.
I was looking around. None of those dudes can bench 225.
Yeah, it's not about a dude who's deadlifting or something.
Yeah,
this guy's doing Pilates and yoga. And
right.
He's really toned.
Smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And they're smooth. Like, girls always go, "Ooh, he's Italian." I never got it. I went to Italy and I get it now.
Oh, yeah. Lover boy.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I see why women are into this.
Yeah. So, where'd you go after Sicily? Well, before that, you were in like Alaska or something, right?
Yeah, I went to Alaska. I got some smoked salmon from one of the top spots, man. It's delicious. I brought some back with me.
Oh, well. You were carrying fish the entire time?
Yeah, it's in a container. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like sealed till 2024.
Jeez.
But yeah, I went there. I went a few spots in Canada. You know, the spots in Canada, I don't know why people even went. There was nothing to do there. It just seemed like a real waste. I mean, BC was nice. British Columbia, that was nice. But other than that, it was just a regular stop. Wasn't even a Starbucks in the place, just Canada. Just like...
I think that's what they go for, though. It's like wilderness or something.
It was wilderness, bro. That's it.
Yeah, it's what like people want to get on a cruise and go to Alaska. They're not trying to go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. You're a wise dude, man.
Well, I mean, like I think just from a standpoint of an old person who takes the kind of carnival cruise that goes to Alaska, it's like that's why you go to Alaska. You're not trying to go to Mexico.
And Alaska went through Ketchikan. It went down through like the glaciers and spots like that. And
it is crazy to me though. Whenever you tell these stories, that like there's stand-up comedy interspersed in all of this.
A lot of it.
Because all of this stuff is completely antithetical to comedy in my brain.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone's going to Alaska and seeing these majestic views with like bears and greenery everywhere, rolling seas, and it's like we got to go inside and hear you talk about CVS.
Right,
like,
and they do.
That is so weird. Of all the kinds of entertainment they could pick, it feels like they should be going inside and listening to like a poetry or like a lecture about water conservation or something. But
they do have the archaeologists or whatever they are on board. I don't know what they are.
But it's like educational or something. Right?
Yeah, there's those guys, and they run like 24 hours a day.
But it's funny because there's also like, I mean, there's all this like very nice natural beauty, but it's also like people getting drunk off of martinis and
some
wine
of the
coolers
material.
and shit.
Like you're looking at the Northern Lights. People ran down from seeing the Northern Lights, and then they hear jokes about people picking up like prostitutes.
Oh yeah, right.
Or like the one of them, the joke that always kills on cruises is when old men or people just describe an old man's genitalia.
Right.
If you're just describing it in detail,
it's like a sad dog.
You're that would murder.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much that would murder.
That's the Dave Attell joke. It's like a sleeping bag that you can't remember how to zip up anymore.
Yeah, there's some where they're just
like a tent that you don't have the instructions for or something.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, dude, 15 minutes on how it looks. And it's just like, just sitting there, half asleep, half awake.
That's well, old people love that kind of stuff.
Is it cold in here?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, I mean, like, most of these crowds are pretty old, right?
This crowd, so I did the same ship on for 2 weeks, went to another ship that was similar for 2 weeks, then back on this one for 2 weeks. So I get a good amount of people seeing me already. But the new people weren't really giving me a chance, and they were a little younger. I'll be honest.
Oh, well.
I don't know if it's like like when I say younger, they were 65. And, but
the golden years.
65, 70. Because the other ship, they were about 70 to 80.
Wow.
The one up in Iceland, the Alaska and Iceland cruises. That's like a bucket list thing.
Oh, right, yeah. See, those people though. That's not like. You wouldn't get on that ship, a carnival cruise that goes to Iceland for like, it's not like a bachelorette party.
Right.
We're all going to get fucked up and,
Yeah, go speak some Icelandic.
But like, put pineapples on our shorts or something.
Yeah,
these are like, people are going to see the Northern Lights or whatever.
Yeah, they're older couples that've been together. Their kids are out of the house.
Yeah.
Or they're like very old and they're like, we just wanted to see it one more time.
Wow.
But those ones don't have much walking. That's why. Now, when you do the European tours, people are walking, dude. I mean,
well, those old cities, they're not even built for like wheelchairs or.
And there's so much to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are like, we're going out. We're out at 8. We came back at 4.
Yeah.
Do the hop on, hop off bus.
Wow.
That's where I was at. I was in Corfu, Greece, and they were conquered by like everybody. The English, the Venetians, all these people I never even heard of. The Romans, the Germans, the Goths. It's like
the Ottomans or something.
Everybody beat their ass, like for real. And it's like, what do you do then? Just everybody's just whipping you all the time.
Well, it's like France and Germany and Ottoman Empire. It's like if you look at a map throughout the years, it's just constant wars in the exact same place.
Yeah.
Where you're just constantly getting, one person's taken from another.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was in Montenegro. Montenegro, some good seafood there. Some nice views. That's a spot where you got to really check it out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But Croatia, huge rocks, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I've seen those spots pretty much. Loved Italy. Scotland, Ireland, I've seen all that too.
Wow. Are you going back out?
Yeah, I'm going to Lisbon, and I'm supposed to be going. Actually, they made a mistake. I was supposed to go. They think I'm going the 22nd. It's not on my calendar. So the 30th, 31st or whatever, Halloween night, I fly out to Portugal. I'm going to overnight, and in Lisbon, taking the ship for 3 days. I think I'm flying off. I don't know where, and then I'm back for a few weeks.
Oh, so it's a quick trip.
Yeah, it's a quick trip. Then I'm going to I think I got another Bahamas coming up. A Grand Turk one. I don't know. I got a few coming up.
Wow.
I don't know if I got anything too cool coming up.
It's crazy. You're gonna become a veteran of like all these different places.
Yeah.
By next year, you're gonna be sick of going to Rome. It's like I gotta go to fucking Rome again.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to put in for Australia.
Yeah.
My
You gotta
friend
go to
just
Africa.
did Japan.
Wow.
I met actually an old Japanese couple on the boat. I was talking to them about Japan. Telling them about you.
Those all those European cities, they get like overrun by like Chinese tourists for like a month out of the year.
Yeah, they do.
Where it's like people get on these tours from China, and they all fly as a group to like Paris or Amsterdam or something, and they because they have all this money, so they're just getting shuttled from spot to spot, and they're all going to like Louis Vuitton or something.
Yeah.
But the way their tours are scheduled, they never have to actually interact with like a French person.
Yeah.
Every single place they go to, there's just another Chinese person who's willing to like, all right, come on in. And then they don't even eat like French food. They just everywhere they stop, there's just a Chinese restaurant.
McDonald's, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
Bro, Chinese people love McDonald's.
Hell yeah.
Everywhere I go, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of Chinese tourists everywhere. All the good places I've been.
Well, it's like, and the way you kind of see it here, but like the way Chinese tourists see a city, it's not like all right, we're gonna stop and take it all in and this and that. It's like, no, we got 100 places to go to today. Everybody, picture. Let's move.
They do it.
And just get back on the bus. We got to go see another basilica or something.
Tour guides, and you're right. I was with them in the Vatican, and they were all there. The cool thing is they got got everything set up for them too, because I couldn't imagine when I went to these places, I couldn't understand the English the tour guide was saying.
Of course, yeah.
But they had somebody, from probably spoke perfect Chinese. But I went with my tour guide. She was from I forgot where she was from. Dude, I couldn't understand a word she was saying. I'm trying my best to look at her, just get it, and I couldn't really understand none of it. When I went to the Coliseum, I caught words here and there.
Yeah. But I mean, what are they really saying?
Yeah.
This is the Coliseum. Look it up on Wikipedia.
I bet they were just slipping stuff in there.
Yeah.
The hustle is there's lines. They got this stuff on lock, so you gotta either pay $55 a ticket instead of 18, but then you go with the tour guide, so you don't gotta wait in the 2-hour line.
Yeah, it's like going to Disneyland. It's like the fast pass.
It's way too packed though that way. It's like everywhere you go. We're in Pompeii. There's like 5,000 tourists. You can't even look at a marble statue.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, that's why they keep it as Pompeii. Is it it's rather than building an Arby's or something, they're building some apartments. It's like, no, this is our business. We got to get them in, get them out.
There's that travels a lot. Yeah, a lot of people actually travel a lot. I'm surprised how many people don't know English when you go to these other places. Like if you're walking around Portugal.
How many people know Italian here?
Right. So good luck finding somebody. Cops don't know English over there. It just blows me away.
Why would that blow you away? Yeah. It's you don't speak Italian.
Right. No,
they probably speak more English than you speak Italian.
I was you're right. I'm so ignorant with it. I just figured everybody knew English. Like you can't get directions people don't know.
No, I mean, I think there are parts of Germany or something where it's so cosmopolitan that people speak English. Or like Paris or something. I think a lot of people secretly speak English just because they pick it up. But yeah, you go to a foreign country, why would they? I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a little bit of Italian there. It's crazy over in Scotland and Ireland how heavy their accents are. It's like another language. It sounds different.
Yeah, right. It's all Colin Tyrell.
The Italians, man, that's a beautiful language. I want to learn it. Everything sounds good.
That's the kind of language, though, where you're not going to pick it up here.
Right.
You're going to learn a little bit of Spanish or something living in this area. And it's like, I think you really do got to get immersed in those things.
And you got to just stay there. I was picking it up a little bit because you hear certain words like pregos, like next or yes, please.
Yeah.
Or like, have a seat.
I think you can learn almost any language within like 2 months if you're just actually there and you're like forced to do it.
Right.
In like a social situation. But I think it's like if you were trying to just learn it on like Rosetta Stone or Duolingo on your phone, I think you'll never be able to do it.
I was with one of those comics recently, and nothing's more embarrassing to me than the white dude that's like trying to impress a girl.
Yeah.
So he'll speak like shitty Spanish to some lady there working, and he'll try to have a real everything's como se dice, como se dice. They learned 7 words.
Yeah.
And the girl speaks perfectly good English. She learned English, so she don't got to deal with this asshole.
Right.
But this dude knows like 3 languages like that. He'll go find some other girl from like Romania and speak her language and know a specific town,
right?
Like a capital.
Yeah. Some people just got to show off.
Play Happy Birthday on the piano.
Yeah.
I was getting sick of the dude. I'm like, dude, 3 sentences in 4 different languages.
How are the comics on this ship?
These ones were great. That's another thing that had it hard. This last run, the 2 comics are strong as hell. I had one of those sets out of the gate. Like the first comic does mostly all crowd work.
Right.
Messes with the crowd. The second comic's real interactive too.
Do you remember the names?
Yeah, Julie Scoggins and Manny Olvera. They're both very funny comedians, man. And they kill. They've been doing it for a while. And the crowds loved them. They got their thing down.
Oh, wow.
And then when I went up, I felt like, damn, I could see where the level's at. Like the first couple of nights, I felt like also they were kind of maybe being a little weird towards me because I look so much younger, which to them I am a lot younger. Like the other comedians got me by like 25 years.
Yeah.
I think that even the guests were kind of like, who's this young kid? I felt a little bit of that with this particular cruise.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could just be a crowd work guy.
Oh, yeah, people do it. There's people on there, I'm telling you, they just tell street jokes, even though we're not allowed. They get away with it. 25 street jokes every set. They'll do like 5 minutes on the city, and then they'll do 25 street jokes.
Wow.
Close it with the best jokes ever wrote.
See, I bet those comics, though, they've probably been in this exact same cruise like 20 times at this point.
Right.
So they're probably do they even get off the boat and like walk around Rome?
No, they don't. A lot of them won't get off.
Yeah.
It blows me away.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a bunch of rocks.
Nobody knows better places to visit than cruise ship comics. They'll tell you about a spot. Well, what's your girl like? And I'm like, I don't know, Greek and food and Italian food. She wants to see a little variety. Take her to Malta. It's a little bit of everything over there. It's a beautiful island.
Tell them I sent you.
Yeah, off the coast of Italy, there's a guy there. I'm telling you, bro, they've been there 7 times.
Yeah, you want to buy some yay?
They all say, yeah, you got to go to Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be like, dude, you'd like Dubai. And those girls, they bang Americans. That's what they all say.
Wow.
They go, that's what they do. They bang Americans like...
Is there a cruise ship that goes to Dubai?
Yeah.
Man, I wonder what that's like.
Well, they leave you there, I guess, because it's one of those ones that's over there. So a lot of times they'll leave you somewhere when they're picking up or dropping off or somewhere where they could drive you nearby.
Right, yeah.
But they go everywhere. I didn't realize one goes to Vietnam, Antarctica. Dude, a cruise ship goes to Antarctica.
Wow. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do it? I would have
Antarctica is like, I feel like that could go south.
Oh, yeah.
Things get wrong and suddenly you're just stuck on that ship. And then you still got to do shows.
Man.
That's tough.
I'd have to see Antarctica.
I don't think there's a lot to look at.
Really?
I think especially from the coast.
Right.
I think you got to get on like a helicopter and, you get over the top.
Now that would be wild. Nobody's allowed to fly over Antarctica.
Yeah, well, I think like Mr. Beast or something. They can make that happen for you.
It would be wild. I bet you they got some excursions there.
But I don't even think I think it's just like white. White mountains.
How crazy would that be, though?
I think it's like it'd be cool. Like the idea of it's cool, but then once you're there, you're just looking at white.
I mean,
and you're in a fucking helicopter and it's loud,
I've been traveling so much. I honestly, if it opened up, I would go to the moon. Like, if they found a way to do it, I'd be like, I want. It's easy to see the Earth.
You gotta do shows.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I guarantee you, that's cruise ships' next move. Like, if somebody did have the money to do that, it would be cruise ships.
Of course. Did anybody go to Africa?
I seen Africa from Gibraltar.
But I mean, like Africa.
The ship, I don't know.
Kenya or something.
I don't even know if it does, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, here's the thing. When it comes down to cruising, it depends on how much money you have. Because there's also people have yachts that fit like 130 cabins. And they'll go crazy places.
Well, yeah. I mean, like Carnival's not going to Nairobi or something. Though. You probably got to get onto like a smaller boat at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. Yeah, those ones are big. Probably not. But you see the smaller ones in port. Like, there's cruise ship companies where they only own one ship. And they'll go out like, it's just like 100-person yacht, basically. And you'll see it's like 5-star like a motherfucker. When you get off, they have the bikes. This is like some millionaire type shit. Everybody on this ship has a personal bike that's upkept that you could drive around. Everything's included.
Yeah. Well, there's like a boat, and then there's like 5 extra boats that circle the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the whole 9.
Yeah.
The lobster, and you see everybody's in a suit. Like, they're like, yes, they had a car that comes off the boat. Dude, it's crazy. Cars go on ships.
Yeah. Well, I think you got that kind of money. You get the Lambo. Yeah. You do the James Bond,
Yeah, when I was coming from Sicily, I had to pull on a ship, dude, like 200 cars on a ship in Sicily. And then they shipped us across the ocean, then we get off.
Wow.
I mean, imagine if that shit went down, bro.
Well, I mean, the ship's that's how cars get around, right?
Yeah.
That's what they always say about, like, if you go to Newark. Newark is like the car theft capital of the world. More cars get stolen, like, in that area than anywhere else in the world. Wow. Because there's like a port that connects Newark to like I don't know, Ethiopia or something. So all these cars get stolen in Jersey and in New York, and they got taken to that same port. And then if you go to certain parts of Africa, there's all these cars with just like New York plates.
Yeah,
and everybody's driving.
That's crazy.
Everybody's driving American cars in this one specific area because everything gets stolen and then taken to this one area.
Wow, and yeah, over there nobody's keeping track of a title.
Yeah.
You know what impressed me about everywhere I traveled? There's a lot of people from India everywhere. I mean, they have their store, the mom and pop restaurants. I went to some old Italian...
you mean like people that live there?
Yeah, like they'll run the restaurant. Like they own a lot of different restaurants in Croatia. Like it's an old pizza place.
Well, it's just like a very entrepreneurial culture.
It is.
It's like we're gonna go there and we're starting from the bottom, but we're gonna grind.
They got dope restaurants. I'm telling you, I'm like, damn. And it's not even Indian food. It'll be like a Mexican place.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you just start the business and you hire some guys to work in the back.
All people from India.
Yeah.
And they nail it. They do a good job. I mean, I'll be honest, I was getting a little racist when it came to spaghetti in Rome. I was making sure the people there spoke a lot of Italian.
Right.
And I taste the difference. A little bit more spice in the Indians one.
Well, I think you got to go to enough places. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure like the authentic, like high-end places, there's probably like a kitchen and then the kitchen behind the kitchen. And you go further enough back there, there's actually a couple Indian guys.
Not even that high end. Shit's cheap there, like $9 for a plate of pasta.
Right. Yeah.
Fish is like $12. A glass of wine's like $3 or $4.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper than I expected in Rome.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice little vacation. I mean, you're gonna get killed with the plane ticket.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, once you get over there though.
Yeah, check it out. But man, I'll tell you what, them guys they're opening up some businesses, man.
Yeah. Well, they open up the business and then like, their kids grow up to be like a doctor or something. Or their kids grow up to be Usama or something. Or
a comedian.
Yeah.
All from a pizza shop in Croatia.
Yeah. I think most places in the world, I mean, like, especially if you're coming from a country like India, it's like you're just down to get out. Yeah, so it's 100%. Like you go to America, you go to Italy, you go to, I don't know, China or something. It's like there's always places you can come up.
Yeah. And these places like Italians, a lot of people jump ships in Italy. A lot of the workers end up going into Rome illegally and working at these places.
Right.
Like they'll work on a ship or something, so they're real strict about that in Italy. Like, dude, it's crazy. They got you going through all these security checks. They're asking you. I think it's even getting to a point to where you have to be working on the ships for a minimum of like a year to even get off the ship in Italy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening here with this immigrants and stuff, where it's like they can put all those rules and stuff in, but it's like people are going to get in.
People are getting in.
People want to get in. It's like, that's like what I always say about everything in life. It comes down to who wants it more.
Right.
The poor guy who's walking across a river to get to America wants it more than some dickhead INS agent who's just collecting a check. It's like that guy is not going to have the motivation to stay up all night. Whereas like the guy who's coming here from another country, he really wants to get in.
Right.
He might not get in, but someone's going to get in.
And he's going to start a business.
Yeah. He wants it bad.
He's going to make that shit work.
Yeah. You don't get paid. You know, it's like I think Chappelle said about Evel Knievel. It's like, I get paid for the attempt.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, the cops, they don't got to catch you. They're getting paid by the salary.
It's cool too how they got their street artist people out there so different than ours out here. Like, did you ever see the people that make dogs out of sand?
Oh yeah.
It's like the first time I seen it, I'm like, man, this is cool. But then after the 10th time, it's like,
well, that guy doesn't even know how to read, and he can't do anything. But like from a very young age, he learned how to do one trick:
make dogs out of sand.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a tourist place forever. You're gonna get real good at this one thing.
That's all life is.
Probably do it with his eyes closed at that point.
There's a lot of homeless spray paint artists, and they're pretty slick how they do it. So they lay on a cardboard box and under bridges, and they put it together, and they put their supplies in there. And then that's how they travel around. They could put that box together, and their spray paint all goes in there, and their papers, and they just set up shop.
I feel like Europe would be a better place to be like a homeless guy.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think it's just like in the culture a lot more.
If you're in Rome,
you can hop from country to country, and you know.
You could couch surf. I told you, I heard a story of a guy, a friend of a friend. I mean, I guess it's a pretty true story. Him and his wife traveled all of Europe and all those areas for something like 3 months off just $10,000, both of them.
Right. Yeah.
They did the free couch surfing.
Even though I feel like just being like a homeless guy riding the rails there. I feel like you're more likely to get like a good meal or something.
A cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to eat better.
You're going to eat better, but it's like, instead of like being here where you're digging through the trash trying to get somebody's, Popeyes or something. I feel like there, it's like, you're really crafty. You could steal a baguette and some cheese.
And somebody's
drink some red wine.
Yeah, somebody's definitely going to hook you up there. People are in a good mood. Then there's an abundance of food. There's 5 million restaurants.
Yeah.
Lisbon's like that too. I mean, if you ever need work, those big cities in Europe, there's just coffee shop, restaurant, coffee shop, clothing store, sunglass. You know what else I learned traveling the world? When they talk about these neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods having like chicken places and what do you call barber shops and liquor stores?
Yeah.
It's in Italy the same exact way.
That's just the old-fashioned way to run things.
Yeah.
It's a neighborhood. Everybody, you can get everything you need within this 3-block radius.
But you could tell when you're in a poorer neighborhood, like you see people are hanging their clothes up, people are arguing, you see like alcohol store, barbershop, nail salon, and maybe bar.
And you see just like a bunch of guys just standing around.
Yeah.
During the day. They got nothing to do.
Pizza shops.
Yeah, a couple of guys playing some weird-ass checker game.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Leaning on the back of somebody else's car.
Slap boxing.
You see that a lot. Dude, people over there, man, you just seen people just eating pizza off the hoods of people's Mercedes. I'm like, bro, I'd be so pissed.
Well, you're doing the same thing, though. So it's like, everybody comes to an understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. A lot of cigarette smoking down there, too. Everybody smokes.
Oh, wow.
It's insane. They'll offer you cigarettes. They'll be confused when you don't take it. Your waiters offer you cigarettes. I'm like, no, dude, I don't smoke. Wow. Like, I couldn't make it any more clear. Amici.
Well, I think they're looking at your body. They're like, hey, buddy, come on. Yeah. Slim it up a little bit here.
Probably. You're probably right.
Get some nicotine in you.